Hello once again, my loyal watchers, and Blake, how are you? In response to your question about why do I use Facebook, I really don't use it for any particular reason other than to give me something to do and occasionally keep up with people that don't normally call me because I'm really not that interesting. Excuse me. I've been sick lately, like I said in my last video. And, yes. Before I get to my main topic, I just wanted to point out a small observation I've made. That in every single video I have posted so far, I have alternated between having my hair up and having my hair down, and I'm just now realizing this. It's rather interesting, I think, in a sort of very unimportant way. Anyways, my main topic for today, which is in its normal late fashion, but attempting to be on time, is coronal mass ejections. As we, on the Eastern Standard Time Zone in the United States, we're supposed to have two major coronal mass ejection hits. One at 2 in the morning and one at 7 at night. I stayed up to try to watch both of them, and I didn't get to see anything. They were strong enough to possibly have created, the aurora in the sky, all the way down here, despite us being nowhere near the Arctic. I mean, we're kind of close to Canada, but that's about it. But it's been really cloudy and humid and very just general terrible weather here. So I couldn't see the sky, never mind whether or not there was an aurora. It was kind of disappointing. If anybody did get any videos or pictures of the aurora, I haven't Googled it yet, though I might. So if you have any pictures or videos, by all means, please, post them in the comments. I'd be very interested in seeing them. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, a coronal mass ejection is when the magnetic field of the sun essentially... I need to explain a little bit about the sun first, I suppose. The way that the sun works is it's a giant fusion reactor. You probably know that much, because basically everyone knows that. But the sun, because it's constantly roiling and creating helium out of all that hydrogen that it's got, has a very chaotic magnetic field. It goes through all kinds of twists and turns and loops and folds on itself, and anytime that a large number of lines go in parallel and arc above the surface, which isn't terribly uncommon, but if it's very, very large and they snap correctly, it releases a huge burst, commonly called a solar flare, but if they're really big, they call them coronal mass ejections because they're freaking huge. Or it could just be a coronal mass ejection anyways, and I need to brush up on my terminology. In any case, this coronal mass ejection then flies through space, following along with the rest of the various radiation sort of pouring out of our sun in these solar winds, which you again may or may not have heard of, but are not very important to this conversation, and I would drag on forever if I was talking about those as well. And these ones just so happen to hit Earth, like perfect, like dead on. It was kind of awesome. Apparently they were big enough to cause auroras, possibly, maybe. Didn't say necessarily one way or the other, it might or may not happen. But the major problem with coronal mass ejections tends to be the fact that, satellites kind of hate large bursts of electromagnetic energy, and so does the power grid. I think there was at least one case where I think a lot of the US sort of had a blackout because of power surge based on solar radiation. I might be making that up too. Might want to check it. But it's a very interesting idea. And it may or may not have happened in the past. But, yeah. Um, certainly satellites have been damaged. Or if not damaged, sort of temporarily frizzled. There's a satellite, the name escapes me at the moment, that specializes in looking at the sun. And every time it takes a picture of a coronal mass ejection, or every time it gets hit by a coronal mass ejection, it becomes very obvious because it'll frizzle out in sort of that staticky kind of 1950s changing the. Well, it still happens now, depending on the type of cable you have. Static in between the channels. However, my video is very long, so I'm going to stop rambling and basically say that coronal mass ejections and anything to do with heliophysics is really awesome. And if you're into astronomy and that kind of cool awesomeness, I'll probably post some links down here so that you can, read in a slightly less difficult manner. Despite, I don't know, it's really easy to find this stuff, or at least some of it. But if you've never had the inclination to before and you don't have anything better to do, why not? You might find out that you think it's interesting. In any case, I reiterate, if you do have any videos, please, comments, do it. I would be very happy. And if not, hey, cool, whatever. It's not a terribly big deal. They happen on occasion. Until, well, next Monday for me. I'll talk to you guys later. Blake, I'm not very concerned about your late video because I've done it twice, so it'd be kind of hypocritical of me. But, night everyone, and peace out, and stuff.